What's up, everybody? This is Mario, and I'm back with another episode of Endurify. And today I have a super special episode because at the time of this recording, it is the morning of June 10th, which means it is my 4-year anniversary, wedding anniversary, since I was married to Emily, my wife. And it is just kind of crazy to think that it's already been 4 years and everything that we have gone through and kind of, been through together. And I'm just like wildly in love with her. She's my best friend, my biggest supporter. And, I think of all of the things that I appreciate the most about Emily, it's just how much she supports me in the things that I really believe in and how she kind of supports my dreams. And a big part of that is Endurify. A big part of that is endurance events. And so I just wanted to do kind of a quick episode and talk about, what does it look like to support somebody who's in endurance events. And so I think a couple of things stand out to me, when 4 years ago was when we were kind of getting ready for our wedding. And it was also at the time when I was training for a half Ironman in Racine, Wisconsin, and then the full Ironman, Wisconsin. So there was a lot that was going on, but I just remember whenever I would go and do my open water swims at the lake, Emily would always be there next to me kayaking. And there were a couple of times where, it would be Thursday nights, and I would kind of refer to them as date night because we would go to the lake, I would do the open water swim, and she would be kayaking next to me. So it kind of shifted our mindset around what does a date night look like. But I just remember there were certain times where the water was like perfectly clear and calm and cool. But there were a couple times where there were like almost like white caps and it was windy and it was rainy and I still had to do it. I would have to go for a mile and a half or 2 mile swim in open water. And I just still remember there was this one time where it was pretty bad. It was pretty choppy and I jump in and she gets in and it is like relentless, but I'm swimming and I'm getting through it and I look over at her and she's yelling at me and she's saying, "Mario, why are you making me do this?" And we just kept going, but we laughed about it. We laughed about it after, and we got through that. And I just think that that's what support looks like, and I'm just so grateful for that. So that's one thing. Another thing I remember when I would be going for my long runs, anywhere from 2 hours or 3 hours, and it would be hot, I would be sweaty, and I would kind of do like an out and back. And we would time it so on my way back, Emily would come and she would be biking out to me and she would bike back with me. And I just remember there were several times where I'm halfway out there, I'm coming back, and I'm just like dreading this run. It is just absolutely horrible. But then all of a sudden I hear a boom box and I hear some like super upbeat music playing and I look off in the distance and I see Emily like cheering me on. And it's just this instant kind of boost of energy. And then she would bike next to me and I would finish my long runs with that and with her. And it's like, wow, like that is what love looks like. That's what support looks like. She's always been such a great supporter of that. And then another thing, when I would go on my long runs, it's hard, when you go on a long, like 3-hour run, it's hard to carry all of your necessary nutrition with you. So Emily would drive out and like drop off gels for me, or she would drop off Gatorade for me, or she would drop off Coke for me at the end of the run, because I knew that I would try that out on the course. And so those are just a few things that stand out to me of just ways that she has supported me in my endurance and in my Ironman dreams. And I'm just like so grateful for that, because if you're taking on a big, endurance challenge and the amount of time that goes into it, the time, the energy and the effort and the self-doubt and the obstacles and all of that. But if you can have somebody who's supporting you no matter what happens, if you can have somebody who's there for you, who's cheering you on, who's encouraging you, who's telling you to, just go for it, then it makes it so much more enjoyable. And it really does become more fulfilling when you include the people around you. And so since it is our anniversary, just wanted to reflect a little bit on not just our relationship, but how she has helped me with endurance events. And so I hope that kind of gives you a few ideas of just different ways that you can include your significant other or somebody else that you love in your training. Like I said, if you're lucky enough to have somebody like that who's supporting you, you know exactly what I'm talking about, where this is going to be more fulfilling, more enjoyable, and more exciting for you. So that's what I have for today. Em, I love you, and I can't wait to see where this whole journey takes us. And everybody else who's listening to this, just want to say thanks for supporting the podcast, and I'll talk to y'all later.